Enchiridion by Epictetus. Forward to the modernized edition. In this modernized edition, we acknowledge that old translations may pose challenges for contemporary readers. It is not that the ideas conveyed by the writer are inherently difficult to grasp, but rather that readers' expectations have evolved over the centuries. To address this, our modernized edition employs current, contemporary language. By doing so, we aim to facilitate readers' focus on the ideas themselves, free from the complexities of deciphering unfamiliar expressions. It is important to note that while the modernized version utilizes updated language, it remains true to the original work. No additions have been made, and nothing has been removed. Our sincere hope is that this edition will enhance the accessibility of the book for modern readers, allowing them to engage with the timeless ideas it contains. Introduction. The little book called Enchiridion, or Manual, by Epictetus, has had a significant impact on shaping modern attitudes and philosophy, despite its small size. Once translated into common languages, it quickly became a bestseller among independent intellectuals, thinkers, and philosophers with a subjective inclination. Even notable figures like Montaigne had a copy of the Enchiridion in their collection. Pascal vehemently rejected the arrogant pride of the Stoic philosopher, while Frederick the Great carried the book with him during all his military campaigns. For Anthony, Earl of Shaftesbury, the Enchiridion served as a source of inspiration and solace during a severe illness that ultimately led to his death. His diaries are filled with passages copied from the book. Scottish philosophers such as Francis Hutcheson, Adam Smith, and Adam Ferguson extensively studied and quoted the Enchiridion, appreciating Stoic moral philosophy for its ability to reconcile social interdependence with personal freedom. It's fascinating to observe the wide range of effects produced by this small volume, which serves as an epitome of Stoic moral philosophy. What makes these effects even more remarkable is the fact that it wasn't intended to be a philosophical treatise on Stoicism for beginners. Instead, it was meant to guide advanced students of Stoicism, showing them the best paths to becoming true philosophers. Epictetus and his Enchiridion hold a unique position in Roman Stoicism. While Seneca and Marcus Aurelius chose Stoic philosophy as the most suitable system to express their existential dilemmas of independence, solitude, and history, they had different focuses. Seneca made significant strides in social psychology, driven by his awareness of societal decline, akin to Nietzsche, but he wasn't primarily concerned with the unity of the Stoic system. Marcus Aurelius, on the other hand, transformed the philosophical doctrine into a regimen for a solitary ruler. In contrast to both, Epictetus taught Stoic philosophy as both a doctrine and a way of life. The Enchiridion serves as a summary of theoretical and practical Stoicism, encompassing both its principles and their application. Chapter 1. There are things that we have control over, and there are things that are beyond our control. Within our control are our opinions, goals, desires, aversions, and basically anything that relates to our own affairs. Beyond our control are our physical bodies, possessions, reputation, social status, and anything that doesn't directly pertain to us. Naturally, the things within our control are free, unrestrained, and unaffected by external factors. On the other hand, the things beyond our control are weak, dependent, limited, and not truly our own. Therefore, remember that if you ascribe freedom to things that are inherently dependent and claim what belongs to others as your own, you will face obstacles, sorrow, disturbance, and you'll find fault with both divine powers and other people. However, if you only consider as your own those things that truly belong to you and regard what belongs to others as it really is, no one can force or restrict you. You won't blame or accuse others, and you won't act against your will. No one will harm you, you won't have enemies, and you won't suffer any damage. In your pursuit of great things, remember that you must not have even the slightest inclination toward the attainment of things beyond your control. Instead, you must let go of some of them entirely and temporarily postpone the rest. If you try to have both those things and also power and wealth, you may miss out on the latter while seeking the former. And certainly, you will fail to achieve the only things that bring true happiness and freedom. Therefore, strive to be able to say to every unpleasant appearance, you are merely an appearance and not the real thing. Then, evaluate it according to the principles you have, primarily considering whether it concerns things within your control or things beyond your control. If it relates to something beyond your control, be ready to acknowledge that it holds no significance for you. Chapter 2. Keep in mind that desire seeks to obtain what you want, while aversion aims to avoid what you dislike. When you fail to attain what you desire, you feel disappointed, and when you encounter what you try to avoid, you feel miserable. If you focus on avoiding only those undesirable things that you have control over, you will never have to face those things. However, if you try to avoid sickness, death, or poverty, you expose yourself to the risk of unhappiness. Therefore, redirect your aversion away from things beyond your control and direct it towards undesirable things that you can control. As for desire, it's best to restrain it entirely for now. If you desire things beyond your control, you're bound to face disappointment. Moreover, even the things within your control, which are valid objects of desire, are not guaranteed. Therefore, when it's necessary to pursue or avoid something, do so with prudence, gentleness, and moderation. Chapter 3. When it comes to things that bring joy to your mind, serve a purpose, or hold sentimental value, remind yourself of their true nature, starting with the most insignificant objects. If you have a favorite cup, remember that it's just a cup that you happen to like. That way, if it gets broken, you'll be able to handle it. When you embrace your child or spouse, remind yourself that they are mortal beings. This way, if either of them passes away, you'll be able to endure the pain. Chapter 4. Before you engage in any action, remind yourself of the nature of that action. If you're about to take a bath, visualize the usual occurrences in a bathhouse, some people pouring water, others jostling around, some grumbling, and a few possibly stealing. By doing this, you can approach the act of bathing with a mindset aligned with nature. The same applies to every other action. By reminding yourself, for example, that you're not solely bathing but also striving to keep your will in harmony with nature, you'll be better prepared to handle any obstacles that arise during bathing. You can say to yourself, my intention was not only to bathe but also to maintain inner harmony with nature. I won't achieve that if I let myself become upset by unexpected events. Chapter 5. People are not disturbed by external circumstances themselves, but rather by the interpretations they attach to those circumstances. For instance, death is not inherently terrifying, otherwise, Socrates would have perceived it as such. The fear arises from our perception of death as something dreadful. Therefore, whenever we encounter obstacles, hindrances, or sorrow, let us not blame others, but ourselves, specifically, our own perspectives. It is the behavior of an unenlightened person to blame others for their own misfortunes, whereas someone embarking on the path of self-improvement blames themselves, and a fully enlightened individual blames neither others nor themselves. Chapter 6. Do not become excessively proud of accomplishments that are not your own. If a horse were to be proud and say, I am magnificent, it might be somewhat understandable. However, if you become proud and say, I have a magnificent horse, recognize that your pride stems solely from the horse's merits. So, what truly belongs to you? The ability to make use of the experiences and events in your life. Therefore, when you align yourself with nature in this aspect, it is reasonable to feel a sense of pride, for you are acknowledging your own personal achievements. And that concludes our journey through the Enchiridion for today. I hope you found this video insightful. If you enjoyed this video and found value in the teachings of Epictetus, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share it with others who might find it beneficial. Also, make sure to subscribe to our channel for more content like this. By subscribing, you'll stay updated with our latest videos and won't miss out on any future chapters. Thank you for joining me on this journey. I'll see you in the next chapter. Stay curious, stay inspired, and keep seeking wisdom.